1 Charlie.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I'm full of optimism.
Einstein's theory of relativity.
And we're still seeing it quite well through that haze.
T-minus 37 seconds.
Fight is growing confident.
E equals MC.
That all men are created equal.
About the future innovations.
And growing strength in the air.
Tear down this weapon.
Something's happening coming up on stage.
This is Finding Your Frequency with your hosts, Jeff Spenard and Ryan Treasure. It's time to speak up, share your voice, and hear from the thought leaders.
And welcome to Finding Your Frequency. I am your host, Jeff Spenard. I'm the CEO and president of World Talk Radio, home to the Voice America Talk Radio and TV networks. Joining me, of course, the man that's been behind the mic for many months now, holding it down, co-host, VP of Broadcast Operations, and the man, Mr. Ryan Treasure.
Boom! Find Your Frequency Friday. Here we are, in effect, in the studio practicing social distancing.
And social distancing,
Jeff
yes.
is about 73 feet away from me.
Back up a little bit more. There we go. Now we got 6 feet.
You know, we had a great show planned for you guys today, but we wanted to just, come on the radio live right here in the studio on Friday amidst all of this madness that is going on, this pandemic,
The Wabaka virus.
I don't want to sensationalize this thing like the media has been doing, but I mean, it is a real deal.
Right.
I mean, it's a real thing.
And, people have to use common sense right about now. Follow what everybody's been telling you. Wash your hands, wash your clothes, keep your distance, all that good stuff. So it's common sense at this point. Stay away unless you want to get sick.
If you haven't seen Michael Rappaport's PSA video, you guys need to watch it because if I catch your kids outside, I'm drop kicking them in the neck.
That was funny shit. So entertaining as all heck.
I wanted to talk about one thing really quick, though, that I think is extremely important, especially when it comes to, like ramping up your immune system and some of those things that you can do to help really protect yourself, boosting your immunity during the crisis. Yep. And a lot of you guys don't know, but CBD is a great way to do that.
Ooh.
There are CBD products. And so we have a great partner, Ed Cheney, that works with us at the network. He owns a company called Canafil. Go check out their website, canafil.com. They even went so far because their customers told them that their products and the sizes that they were a bit too expensive. And so they created a whole new product line of half-size price products that are now starting at $34.
Brilliant.
Right? So half the size, half the price, economical, alternative relief regimen, and they have all of the topical salves, all of the different tinctures, all of those different items that you can get on their website, canafil.com, the oils, the salves, economic prices, and there's a lot of immune activators inside of the CBD that will help to kickstart it. So I suggest get yourself on a CBD regimen, bust out that vitamin C, and just go to town.
Okay, this regimen, what is it like? Is it an oil, a cream, an edible? What is it?
So for the CBD regimen for immune boosters, I'm totally all about the droppers, the tinctures, the oil, right? That goes systemic within your body. And the topical salves don't go systemic, right? They just go on the parts that might hurt or ail you. And, one of the things that COVID-19 does is it creates a whole bunch of inflammation in your lungs. CBD is a natural anti-inflammatory and will kick the bejesus out of ibuprofen. And you're not supposed to take ibuprofen anyways.
Right. No Advil. It makes it 10 times worse.
Yeah.
Stay away from ibuprofen. Just try and do the things that they're telling you to do. What happens is that COVID virus gets in you, and it gets in the respiratory area.
Yeah.
And it's mucus that starts to harden, and it starts to block the airways. One of the most important things they tell you is to drink hot fluids, coffee, tea, soup, and you're supposed to sip something every 20 minutes so that it keeps your system, from if you had the virus.
You said that. I started looking for my water bottle.
And me, of course, I put water in the freezer because I like ice in my water. So, I got to break that cycle. But tea and coffee is something I definitely keep handy.
Yeah, I actually have a story to tell.
Go.
I have a friend of mine who's not even a friend, I guess, family, right? My wife's best friend. They've known each other since elementary school. Her boyfriend and them have been together for...
Is this who you talked to today?
Yep, a whole bunch of years. And they live in LA. They're currently quarantined. They can't leave their house. And they've been tested positive for COVID-19. And so one of the things that's been really helpful for me, just staying connected with people that you care about, is, I've been calling them every day in the morning, just kind of checking in on them. But they're on day number 6 of their quarantine for COVID. And every single day he's been giving me little bits of information. And one thing that he said that was really helpful, especially with the respiratory stuff, and you and I were talking about this earlier, was, going on YouTube or Amazon videos, and there's yoga exercises that deal with deep breathing. And using those deep breathing exercises to help keep your lung capacity strong if you do get COVID-19. Or, shit, why not do it as a preventative maintenance? I mean,
right. Are we getting paid for this, by the way?
No.
Okay, just checking.
No, breathe.
So, do they have any idea how they contracted it?
No, and what's crazy is the dude owns a hand sanitizer company.
Oh, geez. How's that?
We won't go there.
Yeah,
we won't go there. But I think it's just important for people to just stay educated on this whole thing, and don't be naive, don't be ignorant about it. Go on the internet, go to cdc.gov and go look at what's going on. I mean, you have to know how it spreads. There's no vaccine for this thing yet.
Right.
Everybody's out there trying to buy masks and stuff. Calm down, make a mask.
Chinese are really digging in right now. They're doing autopsies, and they're really trying to figure it out, because that's where it started. So they've been at this the longest right now. And they're the ones that pretty much sent over some of this information as to how to protect yourself. And they're looking to see if they can, crack the code and find an antivirus, to help, solve this problem. Tell you what, I wait all year long. I'm just going to spit this out real quick. I wait all year long to watch one event, and that's WrestleMania. And I'll be damned if they didn't cancel it. Well, as you know, they didn't cancel it, but they're pre-taping the matches. It's not going to be the same.
No, it's not. Wrestling in and of itself is not the same without the crowd.
Right. Oh yeah,
everybody getting amped up, and there's some good things that have been happening though out of this, which I think is really cool. There's been a lot of bands and musicians and stuff who have been doing free concerts that have been live streamed that you can watch on Facebook, and so some of those things have been great. And so it's good. So that's our public service announcement for you guys today. And we need to get mic number 3 turned on. We got our guest coming into the studio today to talk about the frequency of hip hop. I mean, I know we started the show off talking about COVID-19 and what's been going on and all that kind of stuff. But we do have a guest for the show today. We have some actual topic matter that we're going to cover today. So. Real quick, while we're getting in this transition, I'll tell you about an experience I had yesterday. This company, Harry's, right? Great company. They do razors and stuff like that, right? Rather than spend a bunch of money at the drugstore. So they sent me a trial packet, right? And I'm in the bathroom, and I'm like, I'm going to try this stuff out. And I get the shave butter out, and I get it all going, and so yesterday I had a beard, today I don't. And so I start shaving my neckline.
Why's that?
I start shaving my neckline, right? And I'm like, this shave butter's nice. It works really good. And so then I look at my beard and I'm like, it's looking a little bushy. So I grab the trimmers out and I start kind of trimming my beard up a little bit, right at the same time as my wife hollers from the other room that the dinner was ready. It scared the bejesus out of me. And I shaved myself a racing stripe right down the side of my face. So then that made me go, I guess I'm going to have to just shave it up.
Put a racing stripe on this side and made it even.
Yeah, but I didn't want to be like Joe Dierte. But Harry's is great stuff. It's really, really good stuff. You should join the 10 million people who've tried Harry's. You can claim your special offer by going to harrys.com/frequency. Listeners of the show can redeem their Harry's trial set at harrys.com/frequency. You're going to get a weighted ergonomic handle for a firm grip, a 5-blade razor with a lubricating strip and trimmer blade. These things are made in Germany. They are tough as nails.
It sounds like it's pretty well made.
The shave gel that I was talking about, is baller. It's out of control, fantastic, right? And then you get the travel blade cover to keep your razors dry and easy to grab on the go. Go to harrys.com/frequency and start shaving better today. I
want
did
one of those
yesterday.
Good stuff. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, we have a guest with us. This is going to be a special show because I really like this guy. He's a talented musician. This is Rod Will. Rod Will is an American rapper from Birmingham, Alabama. Since the age of 12, this guy has been involved with music. Everything from freestyling and writing. It was, according to him, it was evident at an early age that he had the gift of a voice to put words together. So that's obviously very important if you're going to be in the rapper game. So I want to welcome to the show Mr. Rod Will. Rod, welcome.
Hey, what's going on? Glad to
It's good to see you, Rod.
Man, what's going on?
I haven't seen you in a minute, man. It's good to see you.
That's real. It's good to see you too, Ryan.
Yeah, real good.
How's everything?
It's good, man.
It's going well.
We've been over here at the office just like spraying everything down with Lysol, taking baths in it, keeping it all clean.
Got to.
Are you keeping safe with this COVID-19 going on?
I have to. You got to stay safe out here.
Absolutely.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I've been hearing hosts signing off the radio shows during the weeks, just telling everybody stay stay healthy. You know what I mean?
No doubt. So, do you find yourself with more time to write now, being at home?
Yeah. At this point, it is a lot of time on my hands, so I do have a lot of time to write and put together different projects and just ideas, put them together. So I can agree with that. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, listen, finding your frequency is all about finding your frequency. In other words, your journey, how you've accomplished what you accomplish, and finding the path that you want to walk in life. Tell us how you found your journey.
That's an awesome question,
or your frequency.
Yeah, that's a great question. For myself, I feel like I found my frequency through my trials and errors. The obstacles I faced, all the times I felt like I wasn't going to push through, or I didn't see my way through something, or how was it going to happen, and just staying consistent and persistent and, really just not making an excuse. Being more hard on myself, expecting more of myself, put myself in positions and around people that care about me and that I care about. I think that's important, but, just going within, I think that's the way to find your frequency. You have to find your frequency, and I feel like for myself, going within myself, knowing what I will allow, won't allow, and just staying true to that.
Good stuff. More in depth about the journey there. I mean, on the scene, writing music, rapping, performing. Tell us a little bit about how you got to the performance stage.
Well, ever since I was in elementary school, I've been on the stage. I can remember back in my 5th grade graduation, I was nominated to do the graduation poem. And so that's why I said earlier, you mentioned that even myself, I knew, and it was seen by other people because other people asked me to come do stuff. It was like, at one point in time, I didn't even see some in myself. And, people would come up to me and ask me to do poems for graduations. I did Martin Luther King in my 8th grade year for a ceremony. Like I was always on the stage. So I feel like ever since 10 years old, I had those opportunities. I used to be shy. I don't know what though. So I think over time, just kind of coming into myself and, knowing who I am, and like I say, just kind of not being nervous, getting rid of the shyness, and taking every moment that you have and capitalizing on that.
No, and you speak about every moment. I think a lot of times people don't realize this, and I had a DJ career for a while, right? I mean, it's not the same. It's not the same as getting on stage and rapping, but you are on stage, like you're the center of attention, and that takes like a whole level of courage that people I don't think understand, knowing that, the whole room is looking at you,
right?
And so there's inherently some underlying just human potential components that you have to overcome, and sometimes it can be difficult to overcome that. Tell us about a time where you were like, not sure about going up on stage, but you were able to. I'm gonna use a line from our promo. You were able to summon the intestinal fortitude to jump out there and jump out of your comfort zone and go and try and go do it.
Oh man, that's perfect, and I think that's actually the perfect setup for this story, because my first real time where I actually wanted to be on stage, I was in 10th grade. And it's not the best story. Like, it's not going to have, like, a good ending to it at all. But to answer the question, I was in the 10th grade, and I just knew, I always could freestyle. I just knew I was going to get on stage and crush it. And all night, I'm getting my outfit ready. I'm picking out everything. And, like, I'm doing this freestyle battle rap with this guy on stage. I'm like 16 in 10th grade. And literally, I get 2 words out of my mouth, and everybody in the auditorium booed me.
Oh.
So I say that to say
that hurts.
But I was young, and at the time, see, that's what people don't see. You see your favorite artists, you see these people that you look up to, but you don't know that man got booed. That man went through the same things I'm telling you, and that's what times. You have to, everyone can't get on stage. Everyone doesn't have what it takes to get in front of thousands or even 5 people and perform at their best capability. You have to have.
Some people can't even talk to themselves in the mirror.
Right. You got to have that mental fortitude, like you said, that the mental toughness to push forward. And getting booed was just one of the many factors that made me or broke me, because I could have stopped after that day.
But you didn't.
Exactly. I kept going.
That's one of the things I think as a human, I like about life in general, right? Is you go through certain things in life because you have to. But all of those trials and tribulations that you go through, getting booed, getting yelled at, whatever it is, that toughens you up, it thickens your skin, and
it only makes you stronger.
It becomes who you are. It becomes part of yourself.
Even myself, getting up on stage, talking to a crowd, in front of a whole auditorium, and it's nerve-wracking at first. But once the flow starts, okay, you relax, you get into it, you tell your story, hopefully people like what you're saying, and you move on.
I remember the first time I was on a panel, dude, and I'm up there, there's like 40 or 50 people that are out there, right? And I'm supposed to be the expert in this topic matter, right? And they start asking me questions, and I'm going, I'm like shaking a little bit. I'm like, man, do I need a Xanax? And I'm sweating, but just like you going on stage and getting booed, I needed that. Like, I needed that moment for myself, and now it's just like, oh, whatever. You got 50,000 people around there.
Right? Yeah. It's like, hey, what's everybody doing?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So tell us about your music, man. What there's a bunch of different styles of hip hop, right? I was trying to prep this morning for the show, so I was like, my favorite hip hop producer on planet Earth is Pharrell, right? And Neptune, okay. So I rode my motorcycle this morning, so I loaded up my playlist. I'm checking out these tracks, and I'm going, man. So hip hop has so changed over my lifetime, from growing up in the '80s. And then, listening to West Coast rap in the 90s, and then all the, the Southern style that dropped, like that Memphis, that Houston, like all those styles.
Right.
So how would you explain what your style of hip hop is?
I mean, it's me. I'm from Birmingham, Alabama originally, so I always have had that Southern style in me, and when you hear the music, you hear me speaking right now, you can hear, the Southern drawl.
Yeah, you're not from Phoenix.
Right. So, I mean, in my music, which retrospect, the mixtape, it'll be dropping March 30th. You can get that on any platform that's out there that you listen to your music on. But I think right now, just my influences come from people, like you said, in the South, like Project Pat, Juicy J, Doe B, even, which was one of the biggest rappers to come out of Birmingham, Alabama.
What about 3-6 Mafia?
3-6 Mafia, yeah, back in those days, and like I said, man, I've been through a lot, just me being homeless. I got stories of my own to tell, I got a life, I got, stuff that, we deal with every day that the person that's listening to this show, you, me, Jeff, all of us, we can relate. And I think when you listen to each piece of my content, that's what you will feel something, And even if you don't, I feel like you will appreciate just the art in general.
I think that's what I like about music. right? Because every piece of music that's created is created from deep within a place in a person, and they leave their soul fingerprints all over those.
Sure,
you know what I'm
right.
saying? All over those bits.
Any artist that you hear out there, and you hear on a daily basis, that they're talking about themselves and talking about the struggles they've been through, or something good that's happened to them, or it's something that as an artist, they really put that extra something into it that people just liked,
it's like
grabbed onto.
artists are like, people don't realize this, but artists are like mentors and they don't even know, right? Because like when you're telling your stories, right? You're telling these stories, because you like music, you're making this music out of it, but it also has a point. Like if some kid who's on the streets right now heard your story and sees where you're at now, doesn't that empower or embolden him to go, wait a minute, I can get out of my funk? You know?
And I think that's a perfect statement to make, because I didn't get to Phoenix, Arizona just by a magic carpet. I've been rapping and putting together music and content since 12, 13 years old, having tablets of music to write. And going from Alabama to out here is not easy. You know what I'm saying? I've had stuff taken from me, studio equipment, sleeping on people's couches and, stuff like that. And so when a person has to think about putting their everything into, you have to really just want to put your everything into that music, because to that little boy that's down there in Birmingham, or a little boy that's out here in Phoenix, or even if you don't do music, anything you do, but I do music. And so I can speak from that because it's an experience that I've had. And at the end of the day, I feel like any kid, any human being on this planet can take something from their life and try to look at it from a positive light and use it to motivate the next person.
This is why I love doing this radio show, Jeff.
Yep.
Being able to talk to people, whether they're, Mitch,
real life, man.
whether they're Mitch Russo, who made $1 billion with Tony Robbins, or they're, somebody who is dropping an album, who's getting in the game, whether they're, whatever the case may be. Like, that's what this show's about, people. This is what it's about. It's about taking those life experiences from other people, allowing them to tell their story, so that way you guys can learn from that. So that way we can all, as a society, as human beings, be better than what we were yesterday and be better today because of it.
Well said, my friend.
Yes, sir.
Good stuff. So how did you get to Phoenix, though?
Man, I got to Phoenix
in a car.
Nah, I rode the Greyhound out here, actually.
Okay.
And what's crazy is I was led here. I feel like I was led here because I didn't even know about Arizona until I started really just following a path that was unknown. That's really, I would say that, because I didn't have a plan to come here. I didn't. And everything lined up to where I came out here on the Greyhound one day with somebody I knew, and I moved out here with the plan that I'm going to be an entrepreneur and I'm going to be a star as far as music and anything I wanted to do. And when I look back on that 3 years ago, I spoke that in existence, and I literally put myself. I told my brother before I left Birmingham that I was going to be a star, and a lot of stuff that I told people. I had a friend I talked to the other day. He was like, "Bro, a lot of stuff that you was talking about in 2015. I look at you now. You manifested that. You're that person now."
Fate. It's called fate.
Fate.
It drags you. It drags you where you're supposed to go.
Hey, fate. Persistence, whatever we call it.
Right.
I think at the end of the day, it has to be something that's in you. It has to be your frequency, because I spent a lot of time doing stuff that it wasn't in me. It was for the money, it was for, all these things. And I can say this to any person who's doing music out there, because not every person who does music makes $100,000 or millions of dollars a year off their music, and they work 9-to-5 jobs and stuff like that. And I say that to say, don't let things like that deter you from where you're trying to get to, because at the end of the day, nobody's gonna give you a handout. Nobody's gonna put you there. Give people something to support, and have something for people to follow. And I feel like that'll take you a long way.
Excellent.
I think that's well spoken, man.
Yeah, no doubt.
Are
So
you
the new album that you're dropping, what's the story behind that?
The story behind Retrospect, which is the name of the album, is really about reflecting on my past, reflecting on everything I've been through, from being homeless, sleeping on somebody's couch, to being, working a job that you don't like, to dealing with people that you're around that you don't really know if you can trust them or not. Wanting to make more money for yourself and be your own boss, and not even being able to do that because you got to do this and that, like just real life stuff. And when you listen to Retrospect, that's exactly what you're gonna hear. You're gonna hear struggle, which is what I come from. My life wasn't peaches and cream. So I feel like I'm just putting myself out there, and by doing that, whether it touched one person or a million people, that's why I did the tape.
Love it.
Do you think that this is like you living your authentic self?
Definitely. And that's what makes it so beautiful, because this is me, taking it back to 5th grade. I've always been on the stage speaking. I've always been on stages to have my voice heard. And at times where I didn't know why. But now in retrospect, which is so crazy, because when I talk about all these things, I realize I got booed off of a stage in the auditorium, but I was always having or given the opportunity to be on stage because it was destined for me. And, I know that, thinking in retrospect and just seeing how everything lined up, me being on this show just wasn't a coincidence. It didn't just happen. It's something that I had to do something to get out here, to even be an acquaintance with you and Jeff. So that within itself just goes to show, that, you just got to put in the work. And that's what Retrospect is about. You're going to go through times where you're going to feel down, you're going to feel up, you're going to want to go get some money. Some days you might want to, chill with your girl and make her feel good. So,
it's funny. I always tell people all the time about me personally, right? I'll be like, people ask me questions, and I said, look, I'm not the smartest person in the world, right? But I'll tell you one thing that I will do. I will outwork you all day long, right? And I think that's that persistence, and I think that's inherently the core pieces of DNA of an entrepreneur is persistence.
Yeah, definitely. It's all about keeping forward, because when you give up, and it's a story that I was told a long time ago about, it's really just the race in general of life, however you look at it. But we're all running. Every entrepreneur, business owner, every person out there that's moving towards their goal is in the race. And the moment we stop running, the moment we let life hit us, like me telling people that I was homeless is not for nothing. There's somebody out there listening to this right now who's in the same situations. And at the end of the day, it's about how you get through them. It does not matter what you're going through right now. I'm a living testament. I come from, since I was born, I was unstable. I did not have 2 parents in my household. I had a single father most of my life, which passed away in 2010. So I got all these things that I can make as an excuse to why I'm not being the best version of myself I can be. But at the end of the day, no one gives a damn about that. And the only people who matters is you and the people that you love. Because if you don't have anyone else you doing it for, you're not going to even want to do it. If I woke up every day feeling like how I feel sometimes, I wouldn't do half of the stuff. But I have a son, I got people that I care about. Yeah. And so I think persistence and having something bigger than I and the self is what takes any person that's successful now where they got to get to that point.
We had conversations.
Put you on a whole new level.
And we have conversations like this all the time. Like, I ask people, and Jeff and I ask people, like, what is success to you, right? And the word success and the meaning of that success is different to everybody, right? I can tell you right now, I feel that in business, I'm semi-successful, right? I have a great job, a great career. I work with great people, but that's not my success. My success is going to come later knowing that I have a well-adjusted child and that my daughter knows what she needs to know. And I was able to download everything that I learned from my life into her so she can use it to her advantage and she can live her authentic life.
Yes, sir.
Right? That, you know what I mean? That's my success.
And my success is Voice America.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a platform that, distributes content of multiple different personalities. And, to me, I don't have kids, my family's back east. I love my family.
You do have kids, all of us, brother.
Yeah. Well, I dealt with kids all my life, so, I'm cool with it. But, yeah, I mean, this is what I consider my legacy. Everybody wants to leave something behind, as their legacy.
Yeah, I'm going to leave a Marley behind.
There you go. There you go.
You got one too.
Yeah, man. Legend. I had a son about
Congrats
4 months
on that.
ago. Appreciate that. His name Legend Williams.
Nice. I like that name. Legend Williams. Yeah. That's a cool name.
So it's even more responsibility on me to make sure he live up to that name. And it's just not a name that he has. I make sure that he grows up to be a legendary person and a stand-up guy, individual.
That is awesome.
Yeah,
awesome.
I hope you guys are feeling this, you listeners out there. I hope you guys are paying attention because, this is some science right here, some knowledge, some philosophy, right there, some real talk.
Yeah, man, real talk radio. Like I say, that's what Voice America. And I'm grateful for this platform because, everyone does have a voice. And I want this to be the opportunity for where when you hear this show, when you listen to our voice, you see yourself, we're not here to just play, Jeff has been doing this for a long time, Ryan a long time, and they've been doing it consistently. And so I want to say, that as me being a young man looking up to y'all, that's just motivation. And I should say to anyone listening that keep going, quit making excuses. Don't let life knock you down. Nobody cares. And at the end of the day, when you on the other side, because you done the things that nobody else wanted to do, you sacrifice the things nobody wanted to sacrifice, you shut your mouth when you could have complained. Like, all these little things matter. And so I think, like I say, even me sitting in this chair today, coming from Birmingham, Alabama, traveling, different parts of the world, and everything like that. And I just want to be a motivation to people back home in Birmingham and any inner city, any hood, any place, even just people who not rich or people who are rich, everybody struggle. And so, I mean, at the end of the day, that's important, man. That you just
definitely going to find something that resonates for you.
Right.
And then something you got to persevere and, achieve that goal. Yeah. Have a goal, first of all.
Yeah, right.
Well, I think a lot of times people forget that, this is actually a perfect example of what we're going through in society and the whole world right now with this whole COVID-19 stuff.
Yeah.
Right? If you get punched in the mouth, it's not about the punch to the mouth. It's what are you going to do after that?
Right.
Are you gonna get sucker punched in the mouth and just walk away from life? Or are you going to get up and sucker punch life again and just keep fighting? You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Some people just sit there and, like I say, at the end of the day, man, it's a growing process. I didn't get to where I was overnight, and life itself was, that thing that was punching me in my face, so.
And guess what?
What's that?
It's still going.
It's still going every
day,
every day. Yeah, you're right.
I am really looking forward to. I want to hear something from Rodwell.
What you want?
We got. I think we got a beat lined up for you.
What?
Yeah, I think we do. Aaron,
you feeling? He's already ready. I think he was ready too.
How's that volume? How's that volume in your ear?
Turn me up just a little.
Turn me up a little bit.
Y'all want me to freestyle? I'm gonna give y'all something, man. I ain't gonna let the beat build, cause this off the top. I remember days feeling like I'm on a cot, all outside, sleeping in the parking lot, all off in my car. But now I'm a star, feeling like, damn, where the fuck you came so far? How the fuck you ain't do that? You ain't have a car. You was walking everywhere, you was busting it out. All the hoes calling your name, now they fussing you now. Wanna hit my phone line, wanna get in touch with me now. But I ain't got nothing for you but a fuck you now. Yeah, I'm on my paper mission, that's just how I feel. Cause some days when the air went in that windowsill, so all I felt was heat, and I couldn't get no sleep. Now I'm a beast, I'm just a beast. I make mistakes sometimes, but that's the human in me. But don't look at me like you ain't have congruency. I remember days that I was committing truancy, skipping school just to make some money for some jewelry. You don't understand, had to sell my shoes and everything. All the shit I seen, need no wedding ring. I'm married to the money and I'm married to my queen. My girl hold me down, she been there through everything. Built my team strong and I love the ones around me. The ones who put on for me and the ones who ain't around me. I do it for the town, dog, I do this for the county. I do this for the ones who be all through the doubted, who been doubted, who been without it. All the times you was feeling in them drought shit, it's your boy Rod Will, and I know what that's all about. And if you ain't keeping it real, then shut your fucking mouth. I might be off a beat, but I know why I get hot, and I might go 38 degrees before I jump off that pot. And I know how I do, cause I do it all the time. This a freestyle, just some shit that's on my mind. Now watch me close my eyes, and then I hit that pine. Think about the days that I needed loans for jobs. Damn, you don't understand all this pride, all of the red that I see that's in my eyes, holding back my tears all them days that I cried. You don't know the shit that I invested, all these tests that just life gon' throw at you, but you really gotta catch it. What you wanna do? They don't get impression, they don't even love you, they just trying to say it. I done been through it all, dawg, but I'm still stepping, for real.
Damn! Fire! That was fantastic.
It was off the dome too.
I was gonna say, just spit that out off your head.
Yeah, I spit that right clean out.
That should be on the album right there.
Yeah, we gotta record it.
Yeah, we gotta record it. I love it.
Hey,
no, right here.
Hey, appreciate
that was badass.
Okay, now I gotta use some hand sanitizer.
Yeah, man.
Gotta keep it clean.
Yeah, man.
You know what? I like what you said in your freestyle right now, that your girl been there since the beginning, dude.
Oh yeah, man.
You know what? My wife,
my queen,
my wife and I have been together since the 10th grade. She's been by my side.
That's a long time.
She's been by my side through the dumbest stuff I've ever done. You know,
when you know you got a good one, when she puts up with your shit.
Well, no, and I think that speaks to your character though too, man. You know what I mean? Like, especially in the hip hop game, it says all, you know, songs about girls and this and all that and that, right? And all the times that you could have stepped out on her, you didn't. You did you, and you stayed true to yourself and her. So mad props, man.
What I like about it is, you know what, I could feel the pain. I could feel the joy. You know, I could feel things that you've been through.
Yeah.
I think that was badass, man.
I appreciate that.
I liked it. Man. I liked it.
Yeah, you know, it was off the top, you know, but, you know, that's what you can expect from this album. Just a lot of reality, you know. We should put that on another tape though. I like that beat too.
Yeah, that's a good beat.
This is a good one.
Yeah, man. Shout out to the man behind the beat, Aaron on the pot, you know.
He was right there for it, wasn't he?
Oh, he was ready. He was
going
ready.
before we even said drop that beat.
Yeah, he was ready for that one. Locked and loaded.
So where do you go from retrospect, right? What do you got plans for, you know, moving forward into the future with your music and
how
with
do you
performances?
Get that out there? What happens?
Well, you know, once retrospect is out, everything from there is, you know, just grinding it out, building me a solid fan base, you know, getting the right people that I can touch and reach and that can connect to me and that can resonate with me and my story, and just growing from there.
Yeah, it's not like Field of Dreams, you know. You don't just build it and they come.
Right,
you gotta build it, market it, you gotta hustle. Yeah,
but you gotta put in the work. Yep. And I'm glad you mentioned marketing because, you know, as an artist, I think people just think that it's about getting behind a mic and rapping, but it's a mindset. You know, unless you want 50, 100 people around you, you know, that really not helping you, they just taking away from you and draining you and, you know, all this different stuff. And then you looking like you don't know what to do. a lot of this stuff in this age that we living in this technological age, you can do a lot of things. You can record your own music. You can put your own music out there. It's just knowing what to do and how to do it. And so for Retrospect, it'll be out again March 30th on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, wherever you listen to your music, YouTube, Face, anywhere. It'll be on there. And from there, it's just building that fan base, getting the right people.
And make sure you look for Rod Will.
Right, Rod
Okay.
Will.
They need to know that.
RODWILL.
Awesome. I pulled something up on you on YouTube, and
What? It wasn't that bad, was it?
No. Hey, I was impressed. I was impressed. You're from Alabama. You're wearing a Suns jersey, so you already got a fan over here, man.
Man, I had to show love. Phoenix itself made me really who I was. I went through some of my biggest challenges out here. And I talk to a lot of people that say, Arizona ain't this, Arizona ain't that. Life in general, any place is what you make it. So you can leave here, if you from here, you can leave Arizona right now and go to where I'm from and struggle just as much. You can deal with the same thing you dealt with wherever you stand at and deal with it wherever you move to. And I'm a testament to that because I thought moving from Birmingham, I was going to come out here. And I just knew, just because I move, I'm going to be successful. And it took 3 years.
not that easy, right?
It was not.
Not that easy. So do you have anything lined up? Is there any stages you're going to be taking, or is that part of the process?
Yeah, right now I'm getting a lot of shows and, a lot of venues put together. I'm getting a lot of paperwork done too, which is why Retrospect took so long to even drop. It was supposed to be out like a year ago, right? Not just.
I think that's a good point, though. I don't mean to interrupt, but for people, like when you have intellectual property that is your music, right? That paperwork is important.
Exactly.
Right. Very important.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's what's really been taking long. Getting the paperwork ready, and plus life. Like I said, your favorite rapper has kids, has a family, has life. You never know who getting repossessed or who late on their bills, and so life happens, and sometimes just me being an independent artist, it makes it good to where I can put out my music when it's convenient and everything like that. So
Excellent. So is there anything that you want to share with us that we haven't talked about, or what do you think?
Well, I will say this. Like I say, for everybody who's listening, when you listen to this, just know that I am not, this big time guy. I'm a regular person just like you. And even when I make it super, super rich, I'm going to still be the same guy.
I like it.
And, I want to say to the person out there through this COVID-19 and, this season of fear, don't let fear guide you, man. Let faith guide you. Let love guide you. Find something you love and have faith in that, and let that guide you. That's what I would say. And if you're a skeptic, if you don't believe, just try it. Find something you love, put faith behind that, and just watch everything manifest in front of you.
Well, and I think too, from a content creation perspective, from an artist perspective too, like we're all locked down in our houses, so what better time to write that next song, you know what I mean?
Right.
Or start working on those next beats or making those next videos.
Right.
I have seen through the last couple of weeks, I have seen the most hilarious content creation around COVID-19. People are in their house so damn bored. You know what I mean? They're just like, all right, we're going to make some funny videos. I seen some rappers, they had Lysol cans and they were dancing around doing backflips and stuff. And they made a whole COVID-19 song because they were cooped up with the whole thing. And just, what a great time to start a podcast, start a radio show, start writing that music.
What we do here,
learn how to play the guitar, play them drums.
Yeah. You gotta stay busy. And I think this really what was a wake up call to the world. If you hadn't caught on, like, get into something. Everybody's sitting at home. Everything that you was thinking about doing, that you couldn't do because you were working.
Time for, right?
You had to go to work. You had to go to church. You wanted to watch back. All this stuff, all the distractions are gone right now. So what's the excuse?
It's funny. My wife goes.
Gone.
My wife goes. You know, we've been wanting to plant a garden for like 2 years. And guess what happened this week? We got a garden. You know what I mean?
Right.
So my daughter's home all week, and there's no school. So my wife is being, accountant and homeschool teacher. And so they're like, they took home economics out of schools.
Yeah.
And so my daughter's learning what home economics is while she's home. Right.
We just sent the Salesforce home this week. Mm-hmm. Probably, we had some already that were working from home for a couple of weeks, but pretty much made it mandatory this week. So now they get time to do other things.
I don't even know what I'm going to do this weekend. I've been so amped up for basketball because the Phoenix Suns actually started to get good, And I'm like, and then now there's no basketball, there's no baseball, the NFL is just not even going on right now. Right. They're just trading people back and forth. Exactly. I think just to have something to talk about on sports talk radio.
right. They're just shutting down everything.
That's actually who I feel the worst for those guys that are in the same business that you and I are, Jeff, who are sports talk show hosts.
Sure.
Because there's nothing for them to talk about.
They have to dig from a story, 6 years ago.
I was listening yesterday. These guys are talking about stats. How many times certain teams won World Series or NBA championships. Like, oh yeah, you guys are running out of content. Yes, Michael Jordan is the best. Okay, let's just end that conversation.
The GOAT, right?
Yeah, he's the GOAT.
He's the Tom Brady of basketball.
Yep, right.
Yeah. Well, Rod, man, I know we had so much fun on the show, and if you guys are listening to the show, make sure you share it out to your friends because we want to make sure that Rod Will gets as much love as possible. He gets as much exposure to his music, and then make sure you guys look out for the drop of that Retrospect album on the 30th of March. That is on Monday.
Yeah.
Monday. Bright and early, 12 midnight. You don't even gotta wait. 12 midnight. If you can't sleep, don't even trip. Don't even get that retrospect.
If you liked what you heard today, you definitely need to get the album. No doubt.
100.
And that was hot, by the way. I really dig that track. I'm glad you did it here.
I appreciate that.
We talked about some great stuff.
Voice America exclusive,
Yes.
You're only getting it right
finding
here.
Your frequency, yes.
On Finding Your Frequency, Y'all already know what it is. The best talk radio show on the planet.
Yes, sir.
Aaron,
yes, sir.
Aaron, why don't you drop that beat one more time? I want to go off air with that beat. We'll use that as our extra music for the day. I think that'll be a good one for us.
Okay.
Yeah. Rod Will in the house.
I'm gonna do one more for y'all.
Go get it.
Out of here.
I like it.
Yeah. I gotta stand up for a minute cause I ain't sitting down no longer. All the shit I've been through, man, it really made me stronger. I got hunger, come from the jungle. Where these monkeys at? They do all type of monkey attacks. Now let me go ahead and hit the blunt 2 times. I'm too high to come down. Now I'm off in the sky. Now why? I got questions. Why I ain't get fly? Why I ain't wake up? Why I ain't even try? Now why I ain't caked up yet? I've been through all these threats. Everybody saying they up next. Can't correct every time that I spent that check. Wasn't no cent behind. You can't say I owe a bitch a dime. You know what I done did every time. I done showed them how to do it and fall in line. Every leader had to follow first. I'ma show them. I come from the city where they make them hollers burst first. But let me ask a question to you. What would you do if the people around's a burden to you? Would you flee or would you stay or would you just struggle? Living in so much misery, all you do is buckle. But you ain't hustle, so you broke. Now you mad, now you really about to spaz. But the only problem is you just sitting on your ass. And all the shit that you thinking about really in the past. And your future ain't Medusa, so the snakes was in your grass. You ain't cutting that shit at all. I'ma show you how to ball. I'ma show you how to get it. I done got it off the crawl. I done got it off the wall. I done got it off the sidewalk. This shit was dirty, but watch how fast I dry it off. You already know I come for the land saw. And I'ma spray this shit down like it's Lysol. I got the canister for that COVID shit, dog. I'm the counselor, bro. I got a vaccination for it. Let me flame it up. I'm way too dangerous and on this mic, I'm papered up. And when I got the whole table stapled up, I'm out of breath, so I'm about to go and take a cut.
There we go. Yeah, you know, coming just off the top of your head, that's a talent, no doubt about it. You know,
Rod Will in
I
the
could never do
house.
that. Yeah, Rod Will in the house for sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Finding Your Frequency right here on the Voice America Talk Radio Network. Make sure you tune into this radio show every week. We drop hour-long episodes every Friday, and then throughout the week, we also have fun little 30-minute, 20-minute, what we call mini-sodes. So make sure you check those out. And if you are listening to this on iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, Google Play, Spotify, or anywhere the podcasts are at, rate us 5 stars, because 5 stars are way better than 4, right? Right.
I mean,
Rod Will, 5 stars, right there. 5 stars.
5 stars. 5 stars.
Give it 5 stars, man. Quit being stingy.
You heard it first right here on Voice America Talk Radio. Stay tuned. We got more coming next week.